Welcome to the West Coast Wools podcast. We are coming to you from West Coast Wools, which is a lovely little yarn store here in Vancouver, BC, Canada. My name is Glenda McDonald. You can find me on Instagram at Glenda McDonald or on Ravelry just as Glenda. And you can find the store on all the things at West Coast Wools.
And I'm Bernadette, also known as Eco Geek on Instagram and Ravelry, also as that in most other places. I have coffee. It's supposed to help me function.
I just realized you match. You have your hair, your sweater, and your coffee cup are all very well matched.
I like colors, but I also like them if they work together. Although I did not dye my hair to match a lot to my knitting, but apparently my knitting wanted to be the same color as all my hair.
That's funny.
So we wanted to give a quick shout out to the Relentless Knitting podcast.
Hello.
Hello. They talked about us on their latest episode about how we knit too much stuff.
I promise we really don't knit that much. I think we just...
Well, we do. We do knit that much, but
but we also just had stash in which we were trying to beat each other, so there was a little bit more competition, because we might just be a little bit competitive.
Just
maybe.
a scooch. We are, like, I don't know, like, knitting is a bonus to working at a small yarn store, but we are also the type of people that find ways to shove knitting into, like, all places. I've also, besides working here, I also... nanny, and I've also convinced my nanny children that knitting is a great way to spend your time. So I just have a lot of knitting time.
You probably knit more than me, because you knit movies and you take your knitting to restaurants.
Yep.
I don't do that.
Yep.
I'll take my knitting to the movies, but only if at least like for standing in line. I don't knit and watch.
I can't sit through movies without knitting. I just like end up picking away at my hands and
see, that's why I don't like going to movies, because I kind of feel the same way, but I don't want to knit. I don't always remember to take my knitting with me, and so then if I just don't go to the movies and watch them at home, then I have an excuse to knit and watch them at home.
Oh, I have this one of the reasons I stopped knitting socks on double points is because I went to go see The Hobbit, and I was knitting a sock on double pointed needles, and about 5 minutes in I lost one. And yeah, and then I had to actually sit through the entire Hobbit without knitting, and all I remember is being like, I need my knitting, need my knitting, need my knitting.
Not to mention, if you lose things on the floor of a movie theater, they're not exactly, you don't really want them back, even if you can get them.
No, and like they were tiny little KnitPicks double points, so they were very small.
Oh, yeah.
After that, I put glow-in-the-dark paint on my double points.
That's a good idea.
Which was smart. But then I also just discovered 2 circular needles. Anyhow, we are wearing some finished objects. It is finally fall. They're not new finished objects, but they're finished knitting.
Yeah, we're gonna do what Selma does on Two Tangled Skeins and show you our finished FOs.
Well, also, if people are like, oh, I really like that sweater, and then we can tell you what the sweater is. My color-coordinated cardigan today is the Campside Cardi by Alicia Plummer, and I knit it out of Wool of the Andes in, like, their Evergreen, I think it's Evergreen, something like that. I'll correct myself. Yeah, I thought the color was too bold, but I really like it. I've also discovered that there's no such thing as too bold of a color in my life.
Maybe fluorescent pink, that might be.
No, I have a fluorescent pink skein. It's going to be part of a Kitamat hat with some gray. It's going to have a big pom-pom on top. Just haven't knit it yet. I have a plan. But yeah, so that's that. I am also wearing a dress I made. This is the cambie dress. In some fabric that has hexagons, and you guys can't see them, but there's also tiny metallic bees.
Little bees. Bee dress.
Yep. Because I made it to go to Bard on the beach during the summer. But yeah, so that's
my wardrobe today. Sweater that I'm wearing, you can see it a little better if I do this. There's some feather and fan on the collar. This is called Feather and Cloud, and I'm completely blanking on who made it. But I know it was from a book that was, I want to say it was a combined effort of, I want to say Veera Välimäki and another person, and I can't remember which one actually designed the sweater. But it's just a little kind of...
Was it Hohi? Or someone else?
Oh, I don't think it was Hohi, no.
Okay.
But, so you can see the raglan sleeve with the open eyelets, and there's eyelet, you can't really see it, but down here there's eyelet shaping in there.
I really hope that's the thumbnail.
Yeah, right.
You can see the thing.
I can see, no. And it's actually really neat because it's done reverse stocking stitch is facing out, And I knit it with Neighborhood House Studio Worsted, which is a dyer based out of, I believe it's Washington, D.C. It's yarn that I picked up when I was in Chicago a couple of years ago at a conference. And it's gorgeous. And if you're local, it reminds me very much of Indigo Moon worsted weight, just in the texture and something of the color as well.
That's good stitch definition too.
Yeah, it's really nice. Now, it's funny because I never would have knit, like if I was wearing this the other side out, I would say that this fabric was way too loose, but somehow it totally works on the, like it's a little bit kind of open and stretchy, but...
My Bella Share's cardigan is the same way, as I have a stroke halfway through my sentence. It's the same way because it's for reverse stockinette. Okay, so we have other finished objects, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I think I have more.
You have more, so you start.
Than you.
I somehow couldn't get anything done this week.
Okay. Before we get to finished objects, another random note off the bat. I realized in last week's episode, I have a severe case of resting bored face.
Also known as resting pissed off face.
Well, no, I just, like, I don't look angry. I just look like I'm super uninterested in whatever it is you're saying. I'm
really not that boring?
Not uninterested. That's just how my face looks. So I'm going to try and not make that face. But just in case anyone was just like, wow, she looks like she's having an awful time. That's how my face looks. I'm real sorry. My boyfriend watched it and he was like, what is going on? It's like, I am sorry. Okay, so I will get... Actually, I shouldn't put that on the show notes, should I?
Well, just don't knock it over, that's all.
Well, yeah. I can't read them. Okay, so I will start. I guess I'll start with these. I'm just going to start with something below these.
Oops. There's one on the shelf behind you.
It's okay. I miss our table. We've moved around the store and it's like thrown
we're
off
trying
my brain.
to try out, if you guys want to leave comments, we're trying to try out different lighting arrangements and things like that. So if you have any thoughts on which ways you prefer, just let us know.
It's true. We just need like portable. Next time we'll just bring the table with us. Okay, so my first finished object. My first finished object is my rainbow socks, which I did toe up with an Afterthought Heel. This one worked a lot better.
Oh yeah, you can see the purple on one toe and not on the other toe.
Yep. So yeah, they're slightly different, but you honestly can't tell. So yeah, this is white Birch Fiber Arts in My Rainbow is Better Than Your Honor Student, which I think is because they're primary kind of colors, with her signature gradient sort of stripe. And I was going to do Susan B. Anderson's smooth operator heel. I realized when I went to go do the heel, she makes you do a special thing when you put in the waist yarn.
Oh.
Which I didn't do. So I just did a regular Afterthought heel. So, fail on that. Next time I have to do an Afterthought, I will try that. But, yeah. So that's that. I think these are my... Oh, I didn't count. I think these are like my 18th pair of socks.
So many socks. That's
this
crazy.
year. I'm now in like wanting to knit sweater mode, as I think most people are, because it's cold. But yeah, so that's my first finished object, is these guys. If I'm wrong, I will correct myself in the amount of socks I've knit this year. And those were one of my final pairs for the Bakery Bears Socks of Summer Cal, and the box of socks, and everything that's knitting socks forever. Yeah, as Glenda is making horrible mistakes with her knitting.
Out of my... I'm trying to change colors, and I just dropped my stitch marker, and then I dropped stitches, and...
Fail.
Yeah, it's not so good.
Should I talk about another?
Go for it.
So,
since you're sort myself out.
Since you're having a crisis.
More coffee this morning.
Yeah. This whole episode's probably just going to be called More Coffee. Most likely. Okay, and we'll do
We need to work out a way to get Starbucks funding for our podcast.
Yeah,
we drink so much of this stuff.
Sponsored by Starbucks. Okay, so I showed it as a cheater faux last time in picture form, but I actually brought it this time. It is big.
I'm so stealing this from you.
Nope, it's my finished Jane Richmond West Coast cardigan, which doesn't like zipping.
Zipper and everything.
I will try and zip it better. Hang on, and then I will show you. Was a fantastic test knit, as I said last time. I knit it out of... The zipper is finicky for reasons I will explain later. Never mind, I won't do this. Was a fantastic test knit. I knit it out of Custom Woolen Mills Prairie Sea Fusion, which is their normal 6-ply with a slight twist to it on a cone. I knit the 36-inch bust, which turned out a lot. Like, to be about a finished size of about 37 inches. I maybe have an inch of positive ease.
Did you get some movement in it when you blocked it?
Like, barely.
Okay.
I will put it on for you guys, even though it is way too warm. But I'm excited about it, and it has pockets there, which I sewed in with the reinforcing thread that we sell. And actually, someone posted a really great tip when I was complaining about my zipper on the test group. This lady uses Aleene's Fabric Fusion to glue her zipper in, which I did, the glue, I put too much glue on, which is why the zipper is finicky, but that will go away. And I didn't feel safe with just doing that, but it was a great way to base the zipper in, and then go back and whip stitch it in, just because that way I could lay both sides even on the floor, and not have it do this, which was my problem while trying to get the color work to line up, which is why it sat in my craft room for about as long as it took me to knit the whole sweater to put the zipper in, because it was a bad time. Okay, so I think that's all I have to say about that. Yeah. It is a bit tight, I won't lie. But it's a good thing I have weird arms.
You always like your sleeves quite tight, too.
I do. Although this was supposed to have 4 inches of positive ease. I don't know what happened. Now we all get to...
I just love this sweater. It's so cool. I need to knit one, except I want to put, like... I have visions of
with my zipper.
Designs with, like, little animals running along.
Yeah,
instead of diamonds and stars and things.
Ooh, ow, my hair. I suggested you find a way to, like, allow substitutions for the color work. I don't know if standard will help. Yeah, so... You just
have to... It wouldn't be that hard. You just have to change... Or make sure the stitch count matches, and then...
But the increases are worked into the color chart pattern.
Oh. Yeah. Not so good, then.
Yep. So, this is my finished one. It has pockets. See, the zipper lies nice and flat because I glued it in. I put too much glue on, which is why it is not going smoothly, but as it gets cold and I wear it. I also had to add a ton of ribbing, because, as we talked about previously, these don't line up. If I line like this, perfect. I'll just stand like this.
Just always have one arm shorter than the other when you're standing.
Yeah, that's my couch and sweater. It was all over Instagram, and it's very warm, so I'm going to take it off. But I'm very much looking forward to it being a temperature in which I can wear it.
My mom,
I feel like I have a quintessential part of West Coast culture now.
This is a totally random thing, but my mom used to say, she's just saying that when you go to someone's house, you should never go with one arm as long as the other, meaning you should always bring them something. So just always be carrying something in your one arm, and then you'll never notice that one arm is not as long as the other.
I should have made the weird arm. Well, they're the same length. It's just my row gauge is just weird.
Is different.
But yeah, it's funny. Actually, I should leave this off. I have another sweater. But yeah, it's a window into my knitting about what I was doing at the time when I made it, so I'm not mad. Also, taking a page out of Soxedra's knitting book. F it, it's fine. So yeah, it's fine. It's cool.
Funny.
Alrighty.
Okay, I'll do one.
Yeah, I was like, I have...
So, after last week saying that I wasn't allowed to cast on the 2 sweaters I want to make, which for some reason I don't want to make anymore. Look, I finished socks! There's one, and look, just to prove, I have 2. There are 2 of them. So this is a Bertie Wooster's Faux Pas, which in one of the books is his faux pas is a fashion disaster, which is purple socks in that case. And you can see the design. It's a really kind of twisty cabled design. You can see it really well there, and then I'll show you the front on using this one, because down the front it goes like this. You can see the diamonds. It was a fun design. It was originally a mystery cowl. There's like 4 parts to it. It started possibly in December of last year, and I didn't finish it until about a week ago. So clearly I was right on the ball with that one. I knit these with 2 at a time. They're cuffed down in the design. And I used the magic loop on a 40-inch needle, and I'm never doing that again because, well, if you've watched before, you know that I'm a DPN fan, not a magic loop fan, and doing them 2 at once with magic loop, torture.
It goes way too slowly. Even as a person who likes to magic loop, it's splitting your progress in half. It's really not a good time.
I mean, I suppose the nice thing was, oh wait, one of these has a mistake. I think it's this one.
Why? Don't tell them that.
Well, whatever.
It's fine.
Yeah. No, it was that was the problem. If I made a mistake, because it is it's quite a complex pattern in the sense that you had to follow the chart really well. And if I messed up, because when I was trying to knit these in knit group a lot, and when you mess up, then I would notice like after the fact, and then I'd be like, oh, I have to pick back 3 rows, and on a double point, you can just kind of mush around to where you need it, drop the stitch, and fix it. You can't do that on magic loop. It's a real pain.
No, you can.
Well, I was having trouble doing it, and half the time I would take it off to fix them. If the mistake was really bad, I would take it off the magic loop, put them on my double points, fix it on the double points, and then put it back in magic loop. So
That's
really, I should have just been doing it on double points. Anyway, that was my one FO. I finished socks. Do you want me to do my other one, or should I?
Just do your other one.
Just get it over with. And look, I have another pair of socks. There's one.
The world's coming to an end, everyone.
I know.
Glenda not only finished things, but she finished socks.
And there's my other one. These are the Mystik Spiral Sock by, did I write it down this
Joshua
time?
Ryks.
Joshua Ryks, there you go. Oh, it's on that page. That's why I
He's
can't
sort
see
of
it.
a knitter.
Sort of a knitter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what he... Oh, okay.
Of a knitter.
But these are the coolest socks. Like you can see there's a little angled bit across the toe. They are toe up. And then there's in the leg, you do it again. If you want to learn German short rows, make these socks because that's what they use. And seriously, do the socks and you will figure out German short rows completely. It's a great way to do it. Really nice explanations. I did the heel he has in the pattern. He does recommend doing the OMG, but I did the first sock before I got hold of the OMG heel pattern. And I don't think I would do... These are the short row heels. And I think on the second one, I just forgot what I was doing. Like I forgot, I don't know. It worked, but I don't like it. It's not as... I mean, they're for me, so I'm not too fussy, but... it's not as pretty. There's like...
It's a heel.
I know, but there's holes and the corner. I don't know. I could have done a better job. I was so sick of them by the end of it.
No one's going to see it. It'll be fine.
They'll be my feet. On my feet. Probably at home and probably not even in shoes because I don't usually wear socks, so...
This is true. And then she complains that her feet are cold. Because she's not wearing socks.
But...
And eat your vegetables and go to bed.
Anyway, so that is the full... It's so sad that the 2 pairs of socks, which basically is 2 socks because the other ones were done long before, that is the complete total sum of my knitting in this last 2 weeks of actual finished objects. I was looking at the list going, what is wrong with me? There's got to be something else. But
I think like post Stash Dash. The only reason I have this many things is because everything was like this close to the end for Stash Dash, but not close enough that I could actually finish it. And the couch and sweater is like a lie. Like it was... I counted it last week as a faux, and it just I didn't actually... Well, I didn't even knit the pockets. I like just sewed everything together. That's all I did. But it's done now.
Yeah, my sweater finally dried. The big one I showed last time.
It takes forever.
It was like 4 days, and so it finally dried. So tomorrow I'm gonna go to dress sew and try and find buttons for it.
Good plan. Yeah,
because I didn't want to haul it down there when it was unblocked. I wasn't sure about the button size, and then I didn't want to haul it down there damp because that would just be annoying.
Would you like your sweater to grow and probably pick up the smell of the bus?
Oh, that too. It also, it was almost 2 pounds of yarn dry, so I don't want to think about what that would have weighed.
Well, picking my couch and sweater up like derped my wrist for like a solid week. Because like I was squeezing it.
Oh yeah,
it was too much. Anyhoozle. So my other faux that I have here, actually maybe I'll talk about teasers. So I have another faux that I already gave away because it was a birthday present. But my friend's birthday was on the 5th. So when we were up in Quadra for Christmas last year, for New Year's, he saw a pair of mitts that I'd made for Brian, and he asked for a pair of them. And then being a knitter, I'm like, I will store that away for your birthday almost a year from now. So I knit him a pair of quick mitts by Jane Richmond out of some wool spun, or Lion's Pride wool spun. It's Lion brand. It's cable ply yarn that's mainly acrylic with a bit of wool. It's my go-to gift knitting yarn because it's bulky, it wears really nicely, it's nice to knit with, it's got good stitch definition, and it comes in a lot of self-striping patterns, which I love. I will put a picture here of them, and I've now decided I'm going to make about half a dozen for Christmas presents for other people because I made them in a day, and he loves them. And being a 20-something boy, I honestly, Jamie, if you're seeing this, don't be offended. I don't expect him to take super great care of them, so the fact that they're mainly acrylic, I think, will help.
Are you gonna make him an idiot string to keep him in his jacket? So he doesn't lose one?
No, because he's a grown man. I expect a little bit more from them when they live on their own, they feed themselves, and if you lose a mitt, whatever. Like, I have about 500 skeins of that yarn. It's in the Mesa print colorway, I think. Yeah, Mesa print. It took about 53 grams for each of them, so with the self-striping ones, you need 2 skeins of the wool spun. But if you do like a contrast ribbing, which I did on Brian's, you can get away with one.
I like the way they do that in their yarns. To me, every color of a brand of yarn should have the same amount of yardage. Like, to say, oh, well, it's multicolor, so it's going to be shorter, I don't like that.
Yeah, no, it drives me nuts. I do have about 500 balls of it, because Brian, one time was just like, would you like all of it? So now it's just becoming gifts. So yeah, that's those. And those count for the Canada Cal, which is exciting. All the Jane Richmond knits this week. And then my final faux is my Georgetown, which turned out a lot different than I thought it would. It's not bad, it's just not what I thought I was knitting. I don't know why I'm talking like this. So, I think it's in screen.
I think that I really think that if you don't tell people how you think it looks like, then they won't even notice.
Okay, let's play a game of what does this sweater look like? Okay, because to me, I was trying to knit a comfy, kind of cozy sweater, and don't think that's what I got. I got something very different, and I'm also regretting knitting the size that I knit because the shoulders are slightly too big.
Oh, you think you should have gone smaller?
Yep, I did the 38-inch chest because I was trying to do an oversized sweater.
Sometimes I think it's better on those to do the smaller shoulder and just add more stitches under the arm when you cast. When you
It's bottom up.
Oh. Never mind that.
Yeah, it's just I tried new things and it did stuff.
Yeah. You have to modify it so you do a shoulder size of one size and the breast of a bigger. That would be harder.
Nope. F it. It's fine. Yeah. So. It's nice. It just turned out a bit differently than I expected it to.
I like it.
I'm still trying to figure out how to style it.
Kind of does feel like it needs a belt, though.
It needs a lot of stuff. Like a pipe.
Pockets on the side.
A big comfy chair.
PJs underneath.
Just, I don't know.
Silk pajamas?
Yeah, silk pajamas and possibly a playmate of some kind. But yeah, so I was trying to knit a cozy sweater. See, what's funny is if I had knit the Rosemont instead of the Georgetown, would have gotten the sweater I wanted.
You think so?
Oh, yes. Yeah, the top-down raglan, it's less fitted. It doesn't have the waist shaping this one does. It's got a different sleeve. It would have looked completely different. I like this sweater, just don't know what to do with it right now. Yeah, just don't. It's a much more formal sweater than I was expecting, and I'm just not sure what to do with it. We'll see if I can figure out how to wear it. But yeah, so that's a thing that happened. The yarn's Cascade 220. The yarn was amazing. When I got the red initially, I did pre-wash it a couple of times because it's red. Red in all brands will just assume it will bleed. So I just rinsed it a couple of times, and when I washed it, it was fine. There was no bleeding or anything. Yeah, this is a thing. It's done. I didn't do the elbow patches, because then I thought it would look too much like a sport coat. Yeah, so this is done. It's a thing that occurred. I will adjust to it.
I think it's cute.
It's not a bad sweater. The knit was great.
When you said before that it looked like a tuxedo jacket, to me that was more...
We weren't supposed to tell them what it looked like.
Well, I didn't think that was what we determined, but...
You said that! Don't tell them what it looks like.
I think it... Well, to me the PJ references indicated something else, but...
See, I think I should just, put a button there, and then wear it with some black pants and a button-up shirt, and then I'll just go to prom.
There you go. But no, before you blocked it, when the ribbing was super short, and it looked like the ribbing was going to be short, and to me that made it look... In that photograph, it looked more like it could have been a tuxedo jacket because it felt like really short lapels. Yeah. Whereas once it's blocked long, you don't notice that so much. I think it's just to affect, I think, the darkness of the neck versus the rest of the sweater. I think that's part of it.
It's also probably because I keep grabbing it like this.
Yeah.
Aha! I was jokingly thinking about doing a newscaster intro, being like, I am Peter Moosebridge. Yeah. I will adjust to it. I need to play that game where you make war outfits with things and figure out how to wear it. Yeah, we're getting used to each other. Like, it was a surprise when I was done knitting it. I, like, had no idea what it was. Like, I felt like I was knitting a sock and magically it became a bag. Like, it's like, what? What happened? Yeah, I don't know. It's a thing. It's done. Might have to sew some dresses to go with it. We'll see. Although, actually, it would probably just go well with a good black dress.
Yeah.
Which I have one. Yeah, the yarn's great. It looks really cool. Will adjust. Nice knit. The pattern's by Hannah Fettig. It's out of her book Home and Away, which is an amazing book with awkward props. If anyone has that book, please tell me the props aren't super awkward. It's so weird. Like, we were looking at it on our way down to Portland, and, like, at one point, I don't think it's Hannah in the pictures, it might be, but one of the models is, like, holding a phone, like she's never used a phone before. It's like, what is this? Corded telephone. And at one point there's a chicken. The chicken is the most natural prop of the entire book. It's a great book, just awkward props. At one point the chicken's staring at a map of Maine, which I just want as a print, because that's how I feel about everything. Just chicken. Yeah. She's picked the chicken up at some point. You know that there was about 300 pictures where that chicken was not getting along with her, because you could tell in her eyes she was like, I hate this chicken. Yeah, so random tangent about Home and Away prop use.
Hello, we're back.
Let's take a break and rearrange things and lose our voices.
Yes. All of those things.
So do you want to go first with your whips?
Sure. I'm going to start with my sweater mustache. It's too funny. So we are doing a sweater class right now for the In Stillness pullover by Alicia Plummer. And this is as much as I've done so far, which is exactly the amount of yarn knitting I did in the class last Thursday night. I really haven't touched it since. It's a top-down raglan. We can put a picture in here of what it looks like so you'll know. It's a nice pattern. There's going to be you can see a little bit of a broken rib starting. Kind of, well, actually you can't. Sort of you can. Anyway. I'm expecting it to be, well, by next Thursday, which is our next class date, because we do a class and then take a week off and then have another class, I need to be ready to separate the sleeves, so guess what I'm doing after this. And I'm using Coast, Knoll Coast, which is it more cotton or more wool?
It's slightly more wool, I think.
I think it's 55% lamb's wool and 45% cotton, and it's gorgeous. I love this yarn. I have another sweater, which you'll probably see in a later podcast because I wear it all the time. And it feels like once you like wash it, it feels like a cozy sweatshirt kind of, and it's nice.
It's perfect for Vancouver weather.
And the stitch definition is phenomenal. That's my favorite part of it. Like, because you get all that crispness of the cotton, but the forgiveness of the wool. So when you wash it, it like kind of smooths everything out really nicely, and it's so cozy to wear and not crazy hot either. So
yeah, I knit my Prairie Fire pullover.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So it is also really good for lace work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to knit a Clark out of it so badly.
Oh, that'd be so nice.
In like orange and brown, or like maybe a gray.
I'm looking at the
BC Lions sweater, maybe.
That's so
this
cool.
is entirely my father's fault. But these colors are okay in my world. I don't know why. I dyed my hair like bluish green, and I'm like, I should wear orange. That makes sense. Okay, since we have an even-ish amount of Faux. Faux whips. The coffee's all gone, guys. Hopefully
Mine's
functioning
not.
works. Mine is. I chugged it. So, after knitting my Cowichan sweater, I wanted to pick back up my Cowichan-inspired skirt.
These skirts are so fun.
It's a design by Sylvia Olsen. And it's got...
Did you change the pattern on it?
Nope. This is the pattern, the color work in the skirt. But Glenda and Kelsey both were knitting it as well, and they changed the color work. But I cast this on over a year ago.
Yeah.
And then I went back to knit on it, and the color work was messed up. So I ripped everything out and redid all the color work in like a third of the time that I originally knitted it. Because the reason I started knitting it was to practice a traditional way of doing color work that Sylvia taught us that was the Cowichan style of doing color work, where you only hold one color at a time and you wrap it in a specific way to get like this pebbly kind of look on the back, and it's a little bit more elastic. She said it was similar to the Turkish way of doing color work.
Yeah, and there's a jacquard weaving, wrapping sort of way of doing it as well, and it's kind of like that as well. It's not exactly, but
yeah. Well, when I originally did it, it took me 2 weeks to get halfway through this chart because I don't.
Hair is getting in my knitting. Your green hair is getting in my knitting.
Sorry, I wore my hair down. Anyhow, so the lost my train of thought. Thank you. Sorry. So yeah, after I ripped it all out, I knit the whole colorwork chart again, but I just gave up and did it two-handed. But look at, not to brag, but look at these floats, guys.
It's so fun.
This is why I love two-handed colorwork. It is so even and so perfect, and I love it. Not the traditional way of doing cowichan, but it's my knitting, and I should be true to my knitting, so that's what I'm doing. So I finished all the way through the colorwork. I was hoping to have it done for today. I just got to the waist decreases. I'm doing the medium width, but I am doing the length of the small, because I am a weirdly proportioned human. Glenda, when she knit hers, had some hip decrease issues, so I'm hoping by making it shorter it will fit me better. But
I finished mine, basically, and...
You could also just be weirdly proportioned.
I am weirdly proportioned. I have a really... I totally am. I have a really short waist, and then... and a short rise, and I feel like when I put it on, it just was... The shaping was completely wrong, because I had to do the hip width for a different size than the waist, because my hip to waist variation was...
Maybe that's why it went wrong. You should have just knit the size as is. Maybe you should just knit it small.
Yeah, but then it would be... I don't want it really tight on my hips. The last thing I need is a really tight band of anything around my hips.
Anyhow, okay, so getting off of Glenda's body issues. This is the finished skirt. This is Sylvia looking fabulous.
Sylvia has several of them, and she looks amazing in them. And she wore them when she came to the store and did some extra lectures and workshops and things. And we were totally all inspired to make it because it looks amazing.
Yyep. And another one I want to knit. This is her Knitting Stories book, which we have at the store, and I love.
It's a great book.
And I may or may not have a signed copy because I'm cool. Slash I was here. But I also want to knit this one. This is Getza's Bolero.
I like that one.
It's just like a little
Cascadico, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know, actually.
I want to do the...
No, it's in the native twist, but it could be done in the custom Woolen mills.
Yeah, you could totally... The native twist is 2 strands of the bulky.
And whatever. I'll figure it out. Oh, yeah. Boop. Yeah, this is an amazing book. Naughty by... Oh, I'm totally getting your name wrong. I was talking to her on Instagram. She is knitting this scarf.
I want to make that one.
I'm going to see her at Knit City. I'm hopefully going to wear my skirt. Yeah. So if anyone's going to the Friday night lecture, I'll hopefully be wearing this, unless it doesn't fit me, which it should. But if it doesn't, I'm going to rip it out and make a sweater. So that's what I'm going with. Because honestly, it's been on the needles for way too long, and I give up. So yeah.
And speaking, I'm going to jump in on you here and move us along. Speaking of things that have been on the needles too long, this shirt that I'm working on, I pulled this out because it was one of my, when I had that list of 20 whips that, I guess I never actually published that list officially, but I had worked out that I had 20 whips and this was one of them. And I thought that I had cast it on last summer. And then I looked at Ravelry and I cast it on in 2014. Like, where did last year go? I feel like it never, I don't know. It's so strange. Anyway, this is a little t-shirt that I'm making. It's almost finished because I need to get just a couple more rows off the bottom. It is by Isabel Kramer. It's called the Sunny Side Up shirt with an exclamation point. It normally is a plain shirt with a lace panel down the front. And I decided not to do the lace panel and put stripes into it because there was somebody on Ravelry who had done it that way and it looked amazing. And I had hoped to do long sleeves and somehow I didn't save myself an extra skein of yarn. And guess what? From 2 years ago, it's gone. So I did the sleeves quickly so I could finish them. They're just short. And that way I know that I have my ball of blue yarn, that's what I have left. And that I'm going to just, by doing the sleeves first and the neckline's done already, then I can just keep going until I run out of yarn. And if I need to use more of this color, I will use more of this color. But I can't believe it was cast on in 2014. Like, what happened to last summer? Or this summer or something? I don't know.
It's the whole year.
The whole year is completely gone. But I'm excited for it. The yarn is called Cosette. It's a silk cotton nylon blend, which is right behind me on the shelf. And it's really nice and soft, and I think it's great. I want to get it finished because it's kind of good for this season, like shoulder season, where it's a little bit cooler but not quite warm enough for a long sleeve sweater. I mean, I guess you could probably wear this in summer in Vancouver too, but I miss summer again, so.
Like, you missed summer or you missed it?
No, I missed it. Like, okay. I missed the chance to wear this in the summer because...
Okay. You would have died. It was like a bajillion degrees here.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, are you all done?
Yeah.
I wasn't waffling on that bad about the couch and skirt.
I'm not saying you were. I just wanted to jump in on, because it seemed like a good segue.
Okay. I was like, it wasn't that bad. Okay, so I've been working, actually I progress on these now. Working away on my pencil socks. I was hoping to have these done as well, but no. 2 sweaters.
I
and
love
a pair of
these. These
socks.
are so cool.
So I now have a second one, and they have heels.
See, now
So
I'm going to
these-
cast more socks on. It's totally your fault.
These are my back to school socks. I'm not going to school though.
That's
So
right.
these are my number 2 pencil pattern and yarn by Yarn Enabler of the Die Another Day podcast. But I did something new for me. I tried a Fleagle heel. I will put one of them
look
down.
like?
It
Here,
looks
I'll
like
take
a
one.
weird derpy version
You
of
have
the
2 hands.
here you can have.
Oh wow, it's like a
It's kind
triangle heel flap.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So it's just it's all over Ravelry in various forms. So I just had never tried one of these.
That's really
So
cool.
if you can see, it's kind of, no, you can't see it all.
So you increase a whole bunch and then you short row.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
So yeah, it's kind of like a heel flap and gusset, except the back is a triangle. Kind of. And I finished it and was kind of amazed how well it fit my foot. So I'm gonna knit a pair for Brian and maybe one more pair for me, and then see how they I might I'm thinking I might have to teach class on it at some point, because that's the funnest part about teaching sock classes is switching up what heels you're teaching. I did have a question though for anyone who does knit Fleagle heels. Is it possible to do a contrast Fleagle heel? Is this a thing you can do? Because I know if you're doing a traditional heel flap and gusset, if you want to do a contrast, you would make the flap a different color. But this one, because of the weird triangle shape, I don't know if that's possible.
Where do you start your increases in proportion to where you start your short rows? It's kind of all in one go, yeah?
You start the Fleagle at the top of your foot, and then, so, I guess 3 inches before your heel flap.
And are you doing this part of the top of the sock at the same time?
Yes.
Oh yeah, so that's really hard to...
Yeah, so, like, if
Okay.
you were to do the heel flap, you'd, like, get to the end here, and then, like, drop your yarn, and then short row, and you have to
Yeah.
cut your yarn and re-add it. But if anyone's done it, or, like, knows how you would do it, if it's a thing you can do, I assume you probably can't. But yeah. Or, like, if you were to do a toe-up heel flap and gusset, if you could do the flap in a contrast yarn going toe-up. Thoughts? I don't know. I'm just always interested in it. So I do self-striping socks frequently. But I guess maybe you would just not do a Fleagle heel with those. If you can get them lined up properly. Although a lot of the Fleagle heels actually don't look as bad with the self-striping sock. I don't know what's up. People who do Fleagle heels, help. Help/input. But yeah, that's those. I'm hoping I'll have these done for next week. Yeah, she did Yarn Enabler did a whole yarn club this year of pencil crayon socks where they were all like different colors and it was like a yarn
That's
club.
hilarious.
I'm like, oh, that would have been so great. But I also really want to get her paper one because it's white with like paper lines because
Oh
then you'd
my
have paper and
goodness.
pencil socks. I'm an adult.
Would you wear one of each?
Maybe. I'd probably intermix them, but like I got that mismatching set of R2D2 and C3PO socks,
Yeah.
and I haven't knit the C3PO ones yet, but I don't intend to wear R2 and C3PO. I just intend to wear R2 and then C3PO separately. But I'm saving C3PO to knit during Rogue One, so later this year
All right.
when it comes out. Because you gotta have Star Wars socks to knit during Star Wars. Should probably sew my Star Wars dress. Just make it a thing. Yeah, you want to talk about your last?
Yeah, so my
Whip.
final one. And oh my gosh, this one should have been finished. And if I could... I'm trying to keep my language polite. If I could read a pattern without being a complete moron, it would actually be finished. But apparently I can't do that. So, yeah. Anyway, this is a little Cocalico sweater for my friend's little girl. You can see, the front's in these blocks so badly. That's the front edging with its I-cord bind off, which was 270 stitches of I-cord bind off. Not fun. Fortunately, I had good podcasts to watch while I was doing it. And it's got the little lace yoke on the back and the shoulders. And it's got this really cute little detail on the bottom. On the sides, you can see, whoops, just dropped the bag. You can see where you do the little bit of lace on the little side of the sides toward the bottom. That's what I'm trying to say. So where I got completely messed up this most recently, because it's not the first time. So yeah, you know, you finish the top down sweater, you do the body, and then you pick up the sleeves and you do the sleeves. And it said, okay, now we're going to pick up the sleeves and knit down. Glenda missed the line where it says start with the left hand sleeve. Because look, this one's done. Yeah, so the one that's finished, that's the right hand sleeve. Clearly I did not pay attention. So when you put this little
it's like, why does it matter?
lacy detail, which is supposed to be at the back of the sleeve, I put it on the front of the sleeve, and I was casting it off, and I'm just like, oh my goodness! And I completely freaked out, because then I had to rip it out. Because the other problem is I did it, like, I messed it up the first time I did it, and I had to fix a bunch of mistakes, and I think there's still technically...
Couldn't you just have moved the chart?
Well, that's all you do, but the thing is you start it back here, so I had to pull back, like,
okay. I was going to be like, if you ripped out the whole sleeve, I'm going to
No, I just pulled back. But, you know, because I was trying to finish the sweater for tonight, to have it ready for today, because I'm seeing my friend tomorrow, and I was hoping to have it finished, like, blocked and everything. Oh, it'll be finished, it'll be damp when I give it to her, because if I block it tonight, it'll be... Anyway, and then I did the other sleeve.
Or take a hairdryer to it, and, like... The cold air setting that isn't actually cold.
Probably
and just
stick it in front of a fan, and then we've officially turned off the AC in our apartment now because it's like cool enough we don't need it, and it's just a waste of energy. I mean, it's on if we want it, but whatever.
Probably good fun.
It's so nice not to have that. Our air conditioner is so loud. Oh my god. It's like this one in the store, and ours is in the bedroom. It's a really bad location for it in the building, but it's like a wind tunnel. It's like white noise at night. You don't even have to worry about like traffic because all you hear is air conditioner. It's so frustrating. But it was for a while. It was getting really stifling without it. So anyway, it's a super cute pattern. It's called again Coquelicot, and it's by Hel Ezel is the name. There is an adult version which you have to buy the pattern for. The child one is free, and this is a size 8, and hopefully it will fit her. They'll keep asking me if it's for me. I'm like, I'm little, but I'm not that little. I would like to be that little.
Well, it's just maybe. Like a lot of negative E's. When you first started knitting it, I was just like, that's really small. There's no way that's going to fit you.
It's nice, though, because for once the sleeve actually doesn't fit me. It bugs me when you do kid sweaters and you can, like, put the sleeve on an adult.
They're
like,
sausages.
I know, but still, like, there's a proportion thing there. I don't know.
That's a no. They're also, they grow really fast.
Yeah.
So, like, generally you want to oversize stuff instead of undersize it.
Yeah. Well, it's for Roma, and then her little sister can wear it if she grows it out of it, so.
There you go. Okay. So, my final whip is my April.
Yes. We haven't seen this one in a while.
Which I've actually been working on for the past not for the past 4 or 5 days. But for a while I was trying to get, like, a pattern repeat on it a day, because it would add about an inch to the body.
You gonna have it ready for Knit City?
So, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try real hard. Like 7 Knit City sweaters.
We're gonna have to have like a wardrobe change every couple of hours at Knit City.
It's totally gonna happen.
Keep coming by the booth, you'll see new sweaters all the time.
Yeah, no, it's gonna happen. I was joking about it at first. I'm just like, no, I have too many things I want to wear. So like, it's only 3 days. It's not enough time.
I know, right?
I wear all my shawls. I hope it's like -2. Like, I hope it's so cold. Just sweater and sweater and sweater.
A couple of years ago, it bucketed rain for Knit City. It was when it was still at the Croatian Cultural Center, and it was that made it cold because it was like bucketing outside.
It hasn't rained for Knit City in at least 3 years,
which is kind of good because when you're going outside for the food trucks and stuff, it's nice to not be pouring rain. But
it's true. Okay, sweater. Knit City later. So ta-da! It's now sort of a sweater.
Oh, it's so nice.
Last time I showed it to you, I just separated for the sleeve, so it's grown. It's at least 8 inches now from the bottom. I'm going to try picking it up and do a lace repeat a day and hopefully have it done. So I only have to get till 14 inches, and I measured. 14 inches will be fine. My torso is also weirdly proportioned. Let's see if you can see the lace. All this one's supposed to be. Yeah, you can kind of see the lace there. So it's like, it's a fairly simple repeat now that I've gotten into the habit of it. And Glenda pointed out something to me on a knit-along that Sue is doing a fingering weight knit-along, and I was like, oh, this will work. I was going to cast on a new sweater, and then Glenda's like, oh, it's just generically fingering weight. I was like, oh, that's much better. So this will be for my Knit 24 Periscope thing. And I'll look very Christmassy, and it'll be great. But yeah, so I just have to get through I was like, I guess I should tell you what it's in, shouldn't I?
In
coffee.
This one.
Yeah, it's in,
super soft.
Yeah, whole scarn super soft is 100% wool.
Oh yeah, we still have some more color.
Yes, we do.
I have more on order.
It's the Carmine colorway. It is beautiful. I love it. I can't wait to finish this and wear it. It will also be a great Christmas sweater. The red does transfer a bit. I don't know if you can tell from the side of my pattern. Wow. It's definitely, this has also been in here a while.
Yeah. Well, and if it gets warm, if it's like hot in your bag or something, the sun will heat will transfer it.
Yup.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
Yeah, it's definitely transferred color. Okay,
vinegar.
so this is
rinsed in vinegar.
Yeah, it's when I washed my swatch, red did come out with the spinning oil, but I'm hoping it's just a spinning oil thing. It's red once again, all red. Just assume all red will bleed always.
I used the color we no longer have, but a red of the the pinkish red
the sweater
that we had in the Samarkand on my golf floss, and it didn't bleed into the sweater. It bled, like the water was pink.
Yeah, I'm gonna knit a swatch with some of the lighter color, and this, so when I wash it, I can see whether or not it bleeds into it. I don't think it will, but it will definitely leach color, because that's just what red does.
Yeah.
It's like, well, for example, my hair continuously leaches color just because it's a vibrant color. Just assume.
Yeah, dark blues and greens will do the same thing. That's why often you get like blue needles at the end of knitting a project, because it's bled onto your needles with the heat of your hand.
Yep. So yeah, working with this, this is the end of my second ball.
That yarn goes crazy far. It's amazing.
It's amazing, yeah.
I mean, the golf floss I used in the gray, I used only 5 balls, and that was double stranded. Like, that was crazy.
Dalek stitch marker.
Oh, it's so fun.
So yeah, I'm gonna try and get back to knitting a pattern repeat a day. I have most of Monday and Tuesday off for family reasons, so I will get a lot of knitting time, because I get to go to Nanaimo on a ferry, which will be a great time.
Ferry time is great knitting time.
So lots of knitting time. But yeah, so I'm hoping to get that done. Also, I clearly need to wash my knitting bag. It has some sort of icing on it. Yeah, this is, just a knitting bag I made myself that matches my project, but it's filled with aminals. Which I love. All the woodland creatures. Okay, so I think that's all my whips. I'm really hoping that I'll magically have all 3 of these done by next time. Because next time will be like a week and a half before Knit City. So if this isn't done, I'm so sad. But yeah, I'm about halfway through the body. I think I can do that. It feels feasible. And I'm even going to do the sleeves on double points.
Ooh, very nice.
Feels like madness.
Good job.
Mainly just because it's fingering weight and it keeps getting caught in my circular, and magic looping sounds like a pain in the butt. Okay, so store news. Mm-hmm. We were going to have the prizes for the Canada Cal, but I was busy knitting, so I haven't sewn the bags yet. But I got the ribbon for the bags, and we'll hopefully have those sewn up next week.
We're going to have a skein of yarn, not this exact one, but the same colorway.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Marianne in...
I can hold it.
There you go. Smith & U she's based out of Kamloops.
Yep.
And it's her O Canada colorway.
Yep.
And also will be included, that's going to be one of the prizes. I'm not sure how we're going to put it all together.
It's an 80-20 nylon merino blend. I'm going to make some Canada stitch markers. I got some maple leaves. I got some hockey sticks. I'm going to do the thing. Maybe we'll do a grand prize kit or something. Yeah. I think we'll figure out. I will sew the bags. We'll figure it out. We'll tell you next time. The Cal ends at the end of September. So get your finished objects into the finished object thread. Don't forget, if it's a BC designer
or yarn maker
if it's BC based, you can enter it for an extra entry. So like my Jane Richmond gloves, I get 2 entries because Jane Richmond is a BC designer. So get your entries in for that. I will close the thread midnight at the end of the month, because we all know we're not going to be sleeping the days before Knit City.
And it's that's what I was going to say. Oh yeah, because we're Pacific time. All you Easterners get a bit of a bonus.
Oh yeah, like we can't catch Sue's periscopes, but we get a few extra. Yeah, so it's midnight Pacific Daylight Time, right? Pacific Daylight Time, yes.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah. Yes.
When do we go back to? I guess it's after Knit City. We go back to changing the clocks.
Yes. So we'll do that, and then we got new yarn at the store because winter is coming.
I'm so excited! It actually feels so nice out today. It's like it was not like 14 degrees or something this morning.
Sweater weather. So nice. Although I have to say, I wish I'd worn tights. It's a
breezy
breezy day.
Yeah,
breezy. Or at least a heavier dress.
I've put my Naima on the model here at the store, and I'm like, I need my swote. Where are my swotes?
Okay. So to celebrate, or in honor, I guess, of our
Can I try this
colder
on?
weather. Yeah, sure.
Because I haven't tried it yet.
Go for it. So we got this new super bulky yarn with Alicia.
So fun.
It's crazy big. It recommends you knit it on a is it a US 19 or a 19 millimeter?
I think it's probably 19 millimeter.
This is USA 19 or 35.
Oh, okay. So it's US 19, which is a 15?
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyhow, so there's 98 yards for 200 grams, and it's 100% wool, and it's super smooshy. I made this cowl. It is
so fun.
It is also secretly a capelet, as Glenda's
Yeah,
demonstrating.
you can, if you have wide shoulders, you can totally wear it like this. It's so, I think it'd be. I was talking to Suna, one of our employees yesterday, and we were thinking a little short leather jacket, like little fitted, just over the top, perfect. You can wear it right now. It would be fantastic.
So what it is, it's a garter.
I have a leather jacket, but
it's a garter stitch version of the Rasta version of the triangle cowl by Soft Sweater. So essentially, she does in one skein of Rasta on a much smaller needle, but I knit mine on a 20 millimeter needle, which is US 35, and essentially just knit until I ran out of yarn.
You can,
and then she suggests you sew them together, but I just put buttons on and shoved it through the garter.
Oh yeah, it's not even buttonholes. You just sort of
So like you could also style it in a different way if you wanted, and connect it like a cowl and wrap it if you wanted. So it gives you options. You could also probably put it behind your back like a shrug if you wanted.
Oh yeah, it would be long enough.
Because you can,
absolutely.
you can unbutton it for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. So this
cozy.
is new. We also have it in a really nice light gray. So the purpley color.
And
this
black.
one light gray.
And we are expecting at least three more colors. I think it's a green, an antique or a rusty orange, and a paler light
pumpkin.
gray.
Pumpkin colored.
They call it antique yellow or antique orange. I mean
pumpkin. So we also got in the bulky yarn department, got new colors of the stout yarn.
So this one, was it 2 podcasts ago? I made a scarf out of it.
These are mine.
Goodbye. And we have a couple of colorways that are all natural, and then these are the have obviously the color in them.
TARDIS
and it's an
color?
ombre, so from one end to the other, it's darker at one end than it is at the other.
I'm trying to see if I can.
And you said it was somebody on Ravelry has used this to make. Is it Caitlin's offhand lace? Caitlin French's offhand lace shawl,
cool.
and it's so neat because it gives this sort of ombre effect as you go down like the length of the shawl.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
And then this one's like a lavendery kind of.
I like that
color.
one a lot.
So smooshy. TARDIS color, obviously my favorite. It's 100% wool as well. Enough yardage on here to make the scarf that Glenda showed previously.
300 meters, and it's it's 200 grams. Yeah, so it's quite a lot.
So it's enough to make a scarf or an offhand lace shawl, because you do that on US 15, and it makes a lot of yarn go very, very far. So new colors of that, also very exciting. Want to knit all the things. And we also got, I only grabbed one skein of it.
Oh, yeah.
I just realized I grabbed the color that matches my sweater. Did not do that on purpose. Here's the theme today. So we got the new Estelle Chunky, which is a wool acrylic blend. It's kind of like a chunkier version of our tradition, which is kind of like Baroque vintage.
Yeah.
Really great for anyone who you think will not care for something, or for babies.
Yeah.
So 20-something dudes or children.
And we had people buying it for blankets. We had someone make a rainbow blanket out of it the other day. It's
that would be great.
Because we have like some very primary colors.
Yeah.
And
you can mix and match them if you wanted, but you'd have to hold the tradition double, I think.
Yeah, you would.
But it would be really cool. So we have a bajillion colors. Do we have them on the website, Glenda?
No.
Okay, well, they will eventually be on the website. They're probably at least in an Instagram post. I know that's not helpful. We'll have them on the website soon. But yeah, so these are things we have.
Again, I'll leave it
New
now.
things. We also grabbed, can you grab a skein of the Tiptoe?
Tiptoe.
We also got a new sock yarn.
This is a really fun yarn. There's a multicolored one.
It's a single ply wool nylon blend.
Options.
Here. I can get closer, I think.
There you go.
So, yeah, it's a single ply wool nylon. Ooh.
If you are familiar at all with the Viking yarn Nordless, which we actually did carry a couple of years ago, this is a very, very similar yarn to that. One of the knitting magazines, I'm blanking on which one it was, has a hat and mitten set made in the Viking yarn Nordless, and this would be perfect. I think it's in, I want to say it's like a knit scene or something. Might be Vogue. It's not Interweave Knits, I know that, but anyway, this would be really good for that.
Yeah, you can, in theory, use it for socks. It's a single ply, so I'm not sure where it would wear. But you can do it, because it does have the nylon in it, so Maybe if you're not too hard on your socks, totally doable. I think it would be really great for color work or for hats or gloves or something.
They used to call it the faux ferrule, where you do a multicolor yarn like that with a solid. It looks so neat.
See, that's not faux though, because you are doing ferrule.
I know,
it just
I don't know why
changes.
they.
Faux
I guess
ferrule
because
is
it's only one color, like it's one yarn as opposed to like a bunch of different.
No,
colors.
but ferrule is 2 yarns in one row, so it is not
know.
faux anything.
That's just what they called it.
Well, people who coin that term, I have issues with you, clearly. But yeah, so that's all our new yarns right now. We are in Knit City prep mode. So we'll have lots of new stuff for Knit City.
Kelsey's making us new yarn for Knit City. Very cool. I'm excited to see it.
Gonna try and make a bunch of stitch markers for Knit City. We'll have about 100 finished sweaters on our bodies. You can't have those, but you can look at them.
Yeah, we'll probably have them on display.
Oh yeah. No, but I'm just like, you can't take my sweater. That's what I'm saying. I will gladly show you my sweater. You can tell me how nice it is, but you can't take it. Yeah. And if anyone who's coming to Knit City, we assume if you're local, we assume you're coming.
Yes.
If not, why? Silly. Just come. But yeah, if you're coming, let us know in our Ravelry thread.
We'll be at the both lectures. Yes, I'll be at both lectures. So you coming to both? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll also be in one place most of the weekend.
Yeah. Come say hi. And we'd love to meet you.
We would.
And you can meet Mike.
And you can take pictures with Not Peter.
Yes, Not Peter's going to have his own photo booth. It's so cool.
Yep.
And then, because Not Peter's the best in the world, so.
It's true. Okay, so now we're just waffling. So I think that's everything. And we will see you in 2 weeks with more finished things and more anxiety over Knit City. Okay. Bye.